A little bit more time with banning out the final champion of their three, and it will be Twitch, of course. So very strong right now. Panda, as I mentioned yesterday, been playing Twitch even when it wasn't being played by the cool kids.
Yep.
And Jack's also a final ban out here from SK Gaming side of things.
So SK Gaming with expected bans. I mean, again, you don't want to give Kayle, you don't want to give a Jax away. So very standard for them. Means though, with Twitch again being banned away, could be the reason for SUPA HOT CREW to actually ban Twitch themselves. Didn't want to first pick it, instead take it away, take Lucian, who's next in line of the AD carries, force Panda now onto Vayne, force him onto a Brave, something where you feel like you can punish him.
So let's see, still plenty of time here for SK to decide that one. The Kayle that I talked about just previously to the start of the ban and pick phase is still on the table. Maybe an option here for SK Gaming, although they have that last pick and may want to just wait and see what Selfie actually brings to the table. Lee Sin here, a definite possibility, a big pick for Svenskeren in the overall choices these days.
Yeah, especially also with wewillfailer being nerfed, you don't see Nocturne anymore. There's like the champion pool for junglers are smaller now than it was when wewillfailer was a good item and people actually wanted to play these junglers.
But isn't there 4 junglers, right?
There's basically 4 junglers, yes. At least you have the Sin, you have the Evelyn, and you have the Kha'Zix. So SUPA HOT CREW now have 2 options. You can go for Kha'Zix or they can go for the Elise to Impaler. And they can also just completely ignore it and just instant lock Kayle.
Instant lock Kayle, and Thresh didn't take much longer either. We gave wewillfailer some rightful props, I think, for his Thresh play yesterday, and he's going to continue that trend today, and it means that Selfie is going to get his hands on Kayle. What will SK Gaming reply for that one? Will they go for something a little bit more safe in this mid lane? We'll find out now.
Well, so far, the pick and ban base to SUPA HOT CREW has gone as planned. I can pretty much say 100% because ban away, one of the AD carries, first pick, the second strongest one. MrRalleZ has played so many times. SK Gaming played Kayle twice already this week. Didn't pick it in the first rotation, so SUPA HOT CREW we're ready to just instant log it. You get the main support for wewillfailer as well. Things are looking very good for them so far. SK over here, they really value this Trundle pick on Freddy so highly. When Jax is gone, Trundle is going to be the next in line for them also because they know Freddy can start to split push later on with it.
Third and fourth picks will be something a little bit different. We've seen a return somewhat of Kog'Maw. We're going to be seeing him again here paired up with Zyra.
Paired up with Zyra, so it's a lane-wise, you have a lot of long-range poke here. You put up the plans, you have your W from Kog'Maw at level 6, of course, you have even more long-range poke, and then you have the disengage from Zyra to protect this Kog'Maw here. And if they lock in this Nidalee, again, you have long-range poke, you can siege down the tower, and you have Zyra with the ulti to beat a disengage. You have Svenskeren as well, who can stay with the backline here, help them out, and then Trundle just running crazy in the front line, trying to tank up all the damage here. However, normally when you see Kog'Maw, there's often like a Lulu mid with it to help out the support with peeling for the Kog'Maw. Zyra alone could be risky. She's still though a very good pick against the Kayle. Because Kayle, of course, he wants to stay there, he wants to auto attack all the time, and he can't jump towards the backline, so he has to run through the ultimate. And that's where, of course, the Zyra pick can be really strong against the likes of SUPA HOT CREW.
Only seen one Nidalee coming through so far this split, and as you can see, a 0% win rate up until now. Fact is, well, it's one game, and we know how strong Nidalee is overall. We'll see how it works out this time around for SK Gaming, and I have to wonder that there's so much priority, obviously, on the Trundle that if Kayle was such a big pick for them and for Jesiz as we thought it may be,
yeah,
they would have first picked it in their first or second round.
I think they realized, okay, we can go either Kayle, we can go Nidalee, so we have options. We don't need to first pick it here. And then, of course, Selfie hasn't really played too much Kayle, so maybe they didn't expect him to lock it in. Also explains the Ziggs ban from SUPA HOT CREW, because they don't want to have Kayle in this hard lane. Against Nidalee, it's just a free farm for Kayle. He can get a lot of farm, get going early on, and then try and get towards the late game point.
Well, guys, we're going to check your voting one last time for this week and see how you called it. According to LOLesports.com, you've picked SK Gaming by 81%. That is a big vote for SK.
Yeah, so SUPA HOT CREW won 2 games in this SuperWeek here. However, it's been some very up and down games. I mean, some of the games, especially the Rocket one, they should have lost it. But Rocket tried to sneak it Baron, it didn't work for them. SUPA HOT CREW got back in the game and managed to win. So credit to them, of course. But we need to see SK Gaming. They are by many's ideas, at least, also my opinion, the best team.
Both of these teams, of course, vying to go tied top of the table. Both currently sat at 2 wins and 1 loss. Who's going to come out on top of this one? SUPA HOT CREW versus SK Gaming. get into position. Quick sweep down of the trinkets, and they're all wards at this stage. Nothing different.
No scrying up, no sweeping lens. Everyone also just going to very standard scouting position, so you can see every single entrance from the river into your jungle and can see if something happens here. But Super Hot Crew's pick and ban phase really was interesting. I mean, they've counted for everything, because they knew then high chance of a Nidalee from Jesiz when you ban Ziggs, when Yasuo is banned, when Kayle is gone from him. Nidalee is kind of the only champion left. We've seen him play, at least on a good level. And therefore also knew they needed some wave clear, so that's where the Lucian came in very handy, and of course the Kayle as well was a decent wave clear. SK though, late invading. Actually not even late, early invading.
I was gonna say.
I was looking at it, it's like, yeah, it's 150. Nope, it was actually just 1 minute. So basically just going in to put down some wards and trying to force Super Hot Crew out. But here's the thing. With now the trinkets being on the 30-second cooldown, or the 30-second mark where you can put them down, you can always ward your own buffs and then move towards the enemy buff and ward them as well. And that's why we see this trinket ward down. So they knew SK, okay, are they still in there? Have they moved away?
Minions have spawned.
Well, it's going to be, I'd say, a guessing game, but with that ward, it makes it less of a guessing game. And a simple fact here is Impaler is actually moving over to the SK Gaming blue buff. We'll see the Super Hot Crew's bottom lane, who've already got them settled in on that bottom side of the map, moving up there as well. So blue buff is going to be taken here by the Super Hot Crew. SK going to be doing exactly the same over the other side. Looks like we're going to see a simple trade of blues for either side. We are going to see a lane swap coming in as well. Zyra, Kog'Maw going to that top lane.
Yeah, it's very good for SK Gaming. Wants to make sure Candy, Panda and nRated can get a few levels before they have to deal with MrRalleZ and wewillfailer here. So they get the lane swap going. Also Trundle farms really well in the jungle. Same goes for Shyvana, of course. So both junglers and top laners can just farm away in the jungle. So it's all about basically the bottom lanes here, or the dual lanes. And that's where, of course, SK wanted to make sure they can get some levels on Candy Panda before you have to go against you.
Actually, I heard the low HP ping there. That was Selfie in the middle that must have caught a spear from Jesiz, taking down to less than half health. Both of them starting out
he needs to be careful
with those Doran's rings there.
Svenskeren and Freddy could come in behind him here. We've seen it before now, where when teams don't fast push the lanes so often anymore, it opens up for the junglers and the top laners to actually gang around the mid lane early on here. So you always need to be careful. Jesiz himself got caught out against Fnatic actually. First game of the SuperWeek, where he was just pushing up and Fnatic just walked in behind him at level 2 and killed him.
Selfie himself has also had a couple of problems with that, being too far up the lane. I think but a lot of mid laners getting used to the fact that usually what happens is that they end up going off to the side lanes to join wherever their duo is and doing a little bit of pushing on the tower and feeling a lot safer than they maybe in reality are. This time around though, none of that really happening, and we see the first waves being farmed out nicely. Svenskeren and Freddy just realizing, damn it, they stole our wolf camp and just left the small one. Impaler though is coming around. They're going to spot him here, but it'll be a last second kind of thing, and they'd already started to turn around. Ward did go down there though for Super Hot Crew inside of the SK jungle.
And Impaler simply showed himself down there, so SK knew, okay, if you want to go defend, there's a chance he will join in. However, it means Mimer in his top lane is left all by himself and taking a lot of damage here from SK Gaming.
Oh, Candy Panda didn't want that to happen. That was a bit of a miscalculation from him, I feel. He's level 3 here, though, and won't burn through that pop that he's got. wewillfailer gets pushed onto here. Nice little flare will stop Svenskeren chasing completely through on that one. And MrRalleZ obviously was doing damage from the side. Not really a kill potential, I think, from that scenario, but need a team happy for a bit of free damage at this stage of things. Wow, Impaler coming around the middle here. Oh, that was almost landing the cocoon onto Jesiz as well.
Very, very aggressive. There was heal onto Jesiz and flash, of course, to try and escape the gank here. Mimer in his top lane is just farming for himself, trying to pick up as much farm as possible. Also taking quite some damage, and remember, his teleport is already gone because he used it to get up the first time and pick up the wave. So now Impaler needs to go up there and try and do defend.
Yep, he's going to be the one that goes in, gets himself some farm and XP as well, which I'm sure he won't be too annoyed about. But the move there from Impaler fitting into exactly what he said yesterday and what we talked about earlier, that they like to be as aggressive as possible, as early as possible in these games. And you don't get much more aggressive at this stage of a match than going between the two towers to try and gank the mid laner.
And especially so early on, but Selfie now might be in trouble.
Yeah, a little bit too far up the lane. The red buff is on, so the slow's coming in. He'll be forced to flash already. Good damage back, and now Svenskeren finds himself in trouble. Has to safeguard back off to Jesiz.
Still managed to get the flash away from Selfie here. And also actually forcing him to go back to base because he's completely out of mana. So a little free time here for Jesiz to farm, who's doing really well on CS so far, keeping even with the Kayle.
Long range poke coming in, and it's a bit of a pain, let's be honest, for Mimer in this top lane. Something that always made the Zyra Caitlyn and Zyra Ashley really
I used
strong.
to love to play it.
You get hit by... the support basically has one job, and that's to root them up and throw all the plants at them. Your AD carries hammering away as well. Mimer just literally walked to lane since TP was down, lost half of his health instantly.
Yeah, simple as that. That's also why actually he didn't manage to get further ahead of Freddy in farm. He's still ahead because Freddy's been all alone now, also farming down his bottom lane, and Impaler's been helping up here. So both the top laners staying fairly even. Of course, when Svenskeren comes down and the big wave respawns, him and Freddy can go and take it once again and then return to the lane. We are just going to see both dual lanes try and slow push it down to the tower and in the end kill it.
Oh, a lot of damage. There's a hot coming in from wewillfailer. I don't think they've got enough though. Decide not to push on through. Both supports, we should note as well, running with ignites this time around. So no exhaust actually across the map for either team. Just something to bear in mind as we go further on into this game.
So it could be risky for SK Gaming without the exhaust against the likes of a Kayle, but you can of course turn around to SUPA HOT CREW and say you also want exhaust against the Cockmore. So for both of them, win for Ignite with more the lane dominance, stronger laning phase, especially both of them can actually catch on to target and go all in, and that's where the Ignite, when you're against AD carries with field, becomes very handy.
So this top lane, finally, Mimer has basically given up on that one, realized that, okay, I'm not going to get too much from it, I'm just going to let them have a go on the turret. I'm going to head down into my own jungle and try and get some farm that way. Took himself a wolf camp. I'm probably going to maybe head down towards the race. However, blue buff invade is on. Impaler, though, is stood on top of a wall. That could be very dangerous. They know that he's going to be coming around, but Selfie is there.
So
he's level 6 as well. He's got the cocoon there onto one of them. They actually went to Svenskeren. There's a hook actually onto Freddy, but I don't think they're in much danger of going down. Mimer's very, very low coming into this. We've got Nidalee from the side to throw those spears over constantly. And in the end, they kind of dance around each other, dealing a bit of damage. No kills going down, but SUPA HOT CREW get the tower, and now they're going for the blue, for the dragon. They already got the blue.
Yeah, so they trade tower for tower in the lanes because they knew the tower was going to go down anyhow, and send Mimer down to take blue off and then start the dragon up with 5 members. So the dual lane from SK Gaming, they're stuck up in this top lane here, and therefore SUPA HOT CREW wins out on the early game here. Very, very smart move, especially for Mimer saying, you know what, I'm not going to bother staying trying to defend, I'm just going to go straight to my team, take blue buff, take the dragon. And we already knew, of course, the bot tower would go down as well.
Fast-paced play from the SUPA HOT CREW up until now. We're going to see their Selfie move in again to have a go on that turret. Of course, manages to get that blue buff away a little bit earlier on, something that's going to make him a happy man. And Svenskeren just doing his red over the other side. He's hit level 6, so the extra control of that kick will be available. The problem is, it's always going to be very, very hard to lock down this Kayle for long enough with that intervention to actually get a kill.
Especially also because you only bring a knock-up from nRated, and then Svenskeren would have to kick him out of the fight if they want to get him away here. So they rely on the knock-up from nRated to stop the damage from Selfie. Also why he's going for this attack speed build where he's going to most likely build a Hurricane and just focus on auto-attacking in the team fights. And I think to notice here, the bottom lane, because it was just the first tower who died, and then MrRalleZ managed to get actually to push towards SUPA HOT CREW again. He pulls the minions together, so to target the very first minion arriving from the minion wave when SUPA HOT CREW is coming to the lane. Therefore, Freddy could only pick up one wave before the lane was all the way into the tower, and he had to back away. Mimer in this top lane here, he's been able to farm waves all the way up to this tower, so there's a big wave. And now you see Impaler moving up towards this top lane here to dive onto Freddy once this big minion wave actually decides to take the long way around and get spotted by Ward. Sadly not for him. Maybe he might. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he's thinking about it at least. He could go up there and try and deny the big wave away from Freddy. He will do it. Thank you, Impaler.
His spidey sense is better than yours, apparently, there as he goes left, right, and pretty much anywhere but towards that top lane quick enough. Freddy's already spotted them coming up, and he will back away from it. However, that does mean
he gets denied everything.
Freddy is denied once again. Also means that that turret could have a lot of damage coming its way. Meanwhile, SK are trying to capitalize on having a bit of freedom with Elise in that top lane by going in for the bottom lane outer turret.
But this is wrong by Svenskeren. He should have been up in this top lane here to help Freddy out so they could stay under the tower. Of course now, Selfie roamed with Impaler up, so it would have been a 3 versus 2 in favor of Super Hot Crew. That's because Nidalee is so weak in the mid lane. She can't really follow, apply any pressure. So Svenskeren instead, he focused on the bottom lane, but it means Freddy got denied so much farm up there. And also the tower is going very, very low. I would like to see him being over in the top lane to help.
That kind of farm underneath the turret is something that you have to guaranteed hit. You can't afford to hit to miss any of those. Meanwhile, Super Hot Crew moving already very quickly towards the mid lane, and they've done a lot of damage onto that one. Finally, Jesiz will be able to get him away simply because Svenskeren had also started to move up there. Super Hot Crew spotted him early enough and just stepped back towards their own tower.
But both outer turrets now in the mid and top lane are very, very low because they got pushed all the way in by Super Hot Crew. Of course, Nidalee won't be able to respond with any kind of wave clear whenever there's someone in the lane pushing it. So Selfie could get some damage on it, Impaler could join in. But there's two towers now. Super Hot Crew, once they just get a small advantage, can kill and then really extend the goal lead.
Blue buff for Selfie. In the top lane, actually, Freddy putting down a bit of pressure onto Mimer. Did actually use Subjugate, his ultimate there, to steal all that HP back from him. Leave Mimer sat at just above half with a pot running there for help as well. And again, you see Impaler moving around, but again, he will also be, well, spotted by a ward, but the trap will do an even better job.
Trap will do an even better job, but Super Hot Crew can just move MrRalleZ and Selfie into the mid lane if Jesiz is there all by himself, because there won't be any wave clear. Same actually goes for this game in general here. SK Gaming, they're gonna need some time to kill the waves. They can't just instant kill them here, where MrRalleZ with his calling can do a lot of, can just clear the wave. Of course, his piercing light together with the auto attacks from Selfie will also help clear the waves very, very fast. Super Hot Crew won't be able to do the same. Kog'Maw as well need a little bit of time to actually kill the wave. It means Super Hot Crew can always get some damage on the towers and back the wave. We can see them later on here just group in the mid lane with MrRalleZ and Selfie and go straight towards the tower and use the fact that SK doesn't have enough wave clear.
Impaler on this top side has tried very, very hard to get in and have a go at Freddy.
They want to do the same again. They want to again deny him this big wave. He's coming in, also get the tower. Freddy, he's forced to back away. He's losing so much farming experience because he's getting zero help from his jungler.
Where is Svenskeren? He's in the mid lane against both Kayle and Lucian, the two champions that you were just 2 seconds ago saying are going to rip through those waves. What is really up for an offering there for Svenskeren? Yeah, okay, help his mid laner out with this blue buff. Let's see what his next move is after that one. Bottom lane, the tower's down, and the duo of the Super Hot Crew are not really anywhere near in the any potential ganking room, and Svenskeren is just farming at this stage.
Just farming though. I'm not sure if he felt he was too weak to actually go up and help Freddy, or if it was too late from the first time, but for now at least Freddy can pick up some farm while he's pushing the wave down to Mimer again, who can then pick up all the farm, and with his teleport can always join in case a dragon should start. And SK Gaming now, due to blue buff onto Nidalee, they feel like this is the time now where we need to use our poke and just start grouping up. You got a Fiend, you have blue buff, start to do quite some damage on your spear here, so it's a good timing for SK Gaming.
Oh, they're going to throw a lot of towards Selfie, and actually ultimate coming out there from nRated. Is that going to be enough to force them back? Selfie knocked down very, very low. We've actually got MrRalleZ nowhere near the team here. He's just pushed that bottom lane out. This turret is going down for SK.
SK Gaming, they take full advantage of the fact that MrRalleZ was just in the bottom lane sleeping for himself. He was the wave clear they needed in this middle lane here. So it's a free tower for SK Gaming. Very smart move. Dragon is up now. Ulti is gone from nRated. Won't be ready for the fight. Same goes for Freddy actually. So we need to see if they want to contest this dragon.
Ward put down on top of the pink though, so that's cleared out. Super Hot Crew got this dragon down to half HP, and there's no challenge. There might be a spear that comes through here in a second, but probably not going to be enough. Actually hits a Spiderling in the end, and that is the dragon. Second one of the game going over to the Super Hot Crew.
Doing a good job at least on the dragons here. The tower in the mid lane is going to be a big one for SK. Means they can get further inside the jungle of Super Hot Crew and play some deeper wards. We already see one of them on the Wraith camp. To really spot out if Impaler is moving somewhere, or the Super Hot Crew is roaming between the lanes. They didn't invest so much though, they couldn't actually contest for the dragon, so at least Super Hot Crew got something for it.
I want to ask you a little bit about Selfie's build here on Kayle. Rushed into those Berserker creeps straight away. Got himself the Stinger and Fiendish Codex now, so headed up towards that National Super Squad. Spent a decent chunk of gold, I'd say, for this stage of the game on home guards.
A little bit surprised about the home guards here. Of course, when you are against Nidalee, Kog'Maw, you can take a lot of poke, so it means if you're defending a tower, you're going to have to go back to base sometimes, and that's where they're going to be very useful. And while I'm talking, nRated had to flash away.
He had to flash from two things there. Funnily enough, he got away from both of them as well. The hook was good direction and range-wise onto him, and the cocoon was coming in from the side. Flash down, though. We know how squishy Zyra is. Without flash, you're never truly safe.
Never truly safe. Of course, he needs to stay in the backline anyhow, together with Candy Panda and Jesiz to protect them. So the flash itself, I mean, we can see when a fight breaks out, but for now, we haven't actually had the big team fight yet. Both teams just been farming away from moving around. Very good point.
At this point of the game, 16 minutes in, still no first blood. However, towers are plenty, 3 apiece right now. And actually all outer turrets have gone down. Want to touch on Freddy here again as we see him on camera. He's clawing back nicely in the CS now. They basically left him to his own good in that top lane, and he's at least utilized what's been basically gifted to him on the play.
Yeah, and they weren't able to continue to deny him farm because there's so much fighting. But Mimer going in and kicks away.
Kicked away, but the play's going to land onto nRated. That's what I was talking about earlier on. Svenskeren follow through, but that could be the death of him. No, nice work with the safeguard off to the ward at the end of it. That will leave us at 1-for-1. Both supports actually going down.
Both supports going down here. wewillfailer had to use his flash as well, but died anyhow. Basically, with Freddy here, he's been able to actually move up the lane and get more farm because SK Gaming were pushing the mid lane, so they knew where everyone from SUPA HOT CREW was, and it was very good when he could finally get some farm. But now they're pushing on to this mid lane.
A little bit out position here, SK Gaming are. They've got no AD carry, but Candy Panda is coming from the side. They're going to try and focus down Freddy. That's a lot of damage when they call it. One more hit to do it. Selfie's gone in, uses the intervention, and Freddy got away. Svenskeren comes all the way through, but he's going to pay with his life. But now SK try and turn it around. Flash away from the spear from Impaler. That will be the end of that one.
Wow, unlucky for Svenskeren here. He activated the Sonic Wave the second time, and then there was the flash from SUPA HOT CREW. He ran all the way into the team, away from his teammate, and managed to throw down. He has a teleport onto Impaler.
Yeah, this is dangerous. Take the lantern to where? To Spearville. No, misses. Impaler may get away from this one. Slow down. Jesiz comes in from the side. Freddy chomps down, though, to pick up the kill.
Very nice aggressive play here from SK Gaming, using the teleport very, very smart and punishing Impaler for starting off the blue buff, even though it was very low. Okay, we got some action now, at least.
Yeah, out of pretty much nowhere. We said 3-3 on towers, but no kills. All of a sudden, we got 4 kills here on the board. Let's look where they landed. 1 for Freddy in the top lane, 1 for nRated on Zyra. On the other side, both kills went over to MrRalleZ. That leaves him almost 1,000 gold ahead of his opposite number, Candy Panda, who, no, he's Cogmore anyway. He's going to be ramping up, and
of course,
he's going to be so strong if they get to that point.
And Candy Panda actually decided to go Trinity Force as the first item, not for the Blade of the Ruined King, which you normally see from Cogmore. But Trinity Force itself is a very good item on him because it means as well, in teamfights, he's more mobile, he can kite around, and we need to remember, he only has nRated and possibly Svenskeren to help him actually peel in these fights. So he's going to need the mobility, and I expect him to build Blade of the Ruined King as the next item. And
not even Svenskeren if he goes flying around like he has been in his last couple of engagements. Only 7 CS the difference between the top laners now, just to keep tabs on that. You actually see both of them got that Blade of the Ruined King in. The only difference being a giant belt there for Mimer.
You also see for Selfie, he will go for the Hurricane as second item, and it's the thing we talk about. As long as you can stay safe and just auto attack again and again and again, you do so much damage to the 3 targets actually around here. You do splash damage, you have your Nashes, of course, your auto attack goes on to them, so you will do a lot of AoE damage as long as you don't get locked down. And there's only the knockup from nRated to actually stop him from auto attacking.
Not much crowd control on the side of SK Gaming. Jesiz is working his way, by the way, towards that death cap next after his Athenes, and as soon as you hit that point, those spears absolutely destroy you. There is a spear coming through, not being connected there though onto wewillfailer, and it's going to be very hard for SUPA HOT CREW if they end up sitting back on a turret. Yes, they do have the heal, of course, that's going to come out from Selfie, but that's probably not enough to sustain through the poke that comes out from SK.
No, and SK is doing a very good job in knowing when to go in, and big fight in the top lane here. Freddy onto Mimer, seems to back away, don't actually want to chase for the kill, but SK Gaming are doing a very good job of knowing when to group up with this Nidalee. Whenever there's a blue buff, whenever we feel like we are strong enough to poke away, they group up and start pressuring down the lanes. But this time around, MrRalleZ is in the mid lane to defend. It wasn't the first time, he was in the bottom lane just pushing away by himself, so SK got a free tower.
See there, spears soon as the minion wave goes down, they come around with the spears. wewillfailer's done a great job so far of sidestepping all of those, but with spears and then Cogmore coming in, all of a sudden it becomes too much to almost focus on and try and dodge at the same time. And then we'll see more of them coming in. Not actually getting within range of really going for the tower as of yet, though.
And we need to remember, there's a life. Oh, Cocoon landed!
Cocoon lands, but there is a disengage we talked about earlier on from Zyra, from Trundle, covering that middle lane. But look at Mimer, he's coming from behind, but he's got no ultimate to actually dive straight through them, so he's going to have to run away.
It's going to take a lot of damage for this here at least. Needs to back away, wisely enough. No ult, he couldn't actually engage to fight Svenskeren though, he wants some more.
Chasing on through, big hit from MrRalleZ. There's a spear! Is it enough? No, not quite to finish off. Mimer going within a slither of dying, and now SK utilizing that to turn straight around and get themselves a dragon. Super Hot Crew can't challenge this time.
And this is an issue for Super Hot Crew. They don't have any hard engage. They need to land a cocoon, they need to land a hook from wewillfailer, or Mimer needs to flank around when his ulti is ready to start the fights here. And it's a big issue because it means for SK, they feel confident just grouping up and start hammering away, just poke away, and they know the only chance they can engage onto us is if they land one of these crucial skill shots. Panda did get hit by one, but Super Hot Crew didn't go for it because Mimer, he wasn't actually nearby yet. He just teleported by the time the cocoon landed. So he needs to be careful, but it's the thing for SK Gaming. As long as they dodge these engages, Super Hot Crew can just stand back and take all the poke.
Was that a case of showing a couple of nerves there from Mimer, saying probably, guys, I flanked around the back, we can probably fight this one. Oh, wait a minute. Don't actually have my ultimate available. I'm going to have to run away. And almost paid for it with his life there. Something that they're going to have to keep an eye on in the.
And also, Freddy had more time to farm. Again, Freddy, for him, he's really done a fantastic job catching up in farm here. He got denied so much CS early on. He was so far behind. Mimer was a lot stronger than him, but then because, again, the pressure from SK on the mid lane, and then just very nice job by Freddy. He actually managed to get back up in farm.
So let's have a look at some more items now then. AD carries, we can see that Panda now is going towards that Blade of the Ruin King with the Cutlass already in there. Trinity Force will come out second after the Bloodthirster here from MrRalleZ. Other things coming down, that death cap is finished for Jesiz. And a bit more tankiness as well for both a top laner and a jungler of SK Gaming.
Yeah, so both, well, actually for all four of them, both junglers, both top laners just need to go towards the tanky route here. Keep in mind Freddy needs, or Mimer, he needs to be able to survive Panda for enough time for his backline to kill Freddy himself here. So it's going to be about both of these frontliners here need to go in, and Impaler taking a lot of damage.
Impaler gone very, very deep. They actually hook on towards Svenskeren. There is Impaler coming back down. They're going to try and finish off Panda. They don't manage it though. He's off to the side now, and two men will chase down Mimer. That 2 kills. They went far too deep on that one. Let's see if nRated can grab anyone else. No, he can't. They get the turret in reply from that one, but the rest of SK are going to be closing in on them. Is the kick still there? No, Svenskeren used it earlier, of course. They're going to go straight towards Selfie, who will flash away from things. Selfie does have his ultimate available if needs be. I'm not sure that they're going to keep chasing. They will keep chasing, though, as we do see the pillar land. Intervention already used, but it's surely going to be timed out. Jesiz gets that one, and now it's all on MrRalleZ, who goes dodging into the rest of the team. He can't take them on. It's a double kill for Jesiz.
A little bit too aggressive. Used both these summoners here trying to pick up a kill onto Panda. What a fight. I mean, Super Hot Crew at first. The front line goes in while MrRalleZ and Selfie, they stayed back. They just wanted to kill the tower. They didn't even want to teamfight at this point here. So once Impaler was caught out of position, once wewillfailer joined in, and of course Mimer was part of it as well, it was easy for SK to pick up the kills and then chase on afterwards here. So a big win for them. Yes, they lost the tower, got a lot of kills.
A couple of thousand gold only in the lead of this one. We're getting too far away from the half-an-hour stage of this match. Super Hot Crew still having the tower lead. You see that they themselves, after that, even though they lost that fight, have been able to complete a couple of items. Hurricane in there for Selfie. The Trinity Force was done and dusted for MrRalleZ, who, whilst he went down there 1v3, he did give it a pretty damn good shot, although, as you mentioned, leaves him without a flash and also leaves him without that summoning heal now as well. What are the Super Hot Crew planning? They've got a lot of men around that Baron area. I think Freddy's at the point where you have to throw probably 3 men at him to actually kill him at this stage as well.
And it's what they're actually trying to do here. Both waiting around. Impaler might try and show himself as the bait. No, they're moving into towards, still actually towards Freddy or the mid lane. They can't really decide for now. Freddy, you are in big trouble.
He's a big troll though. And is he going to get away? Yes, he is. Flash. Oh, Cocoon lands, but they'd already decided they weren't going to be able to do anything about him. And Freddy walks away, drawing 3 men to the top lane. SK thinking about pushing down middle. They got a pink ward at Baron, which will spot where the Super Hot Crew are. That means that they've got some time here to safely go on this turret.
But notice here, Freddy is following Super Hot Crew down, so he wants to join in for the fight. 5 versus 5 here. Can Super Hot Crew actually get an engage, or are they forced to back away?
Very dangerous. Impaler gonna take the repel, and then the lantern away from it. Mimer is the one at the front as the spear lands onto wewillfailer. And that doesn't bode well for them as they maybe try to hold on to this turret. Selfie now with that hurricane, should point out, makes the wave clear even stronger for the Super Hot Crew. But the poke is still deadly from SK.
It's not even so much about the wave clear now for Super Hot Crew. They need to just dodge around these spears again and again, and they rely on the skill shots we talked about to actually start the fight. The Selfie just got hit by a spear here. So you can have all the wave clear in the world. If you don't have any hard engage, the Nidalee is just going to destroy you.
There we go. Another turret for SK Gaming will level us up, but now the onslaught. This is what SK Gaming do best. Once they get their foot in the door is to kind of move around to the next door and then the next door until they've taken everything that you've got. There's not that much left up for them here though outside the base. Top lane has got the inner turret still there, but the wave is pushed all the way back onto SK's. Similar scenario down in the bottom lane as well.
And Super Hot Crew needs to get some, not deep wards, but at least deeper around the riverside here. So once SK are pushing up towards the tower, Mimer can teleport behind them, flank around them, and actually start the fight. Because as long as they just stay back, they won't get anything done and just take all the damage and lose the tower in the end. So they need to get some wards in this river area. So next time SK actually pushes either for the Baron or potentially for one of the 2 out of turrets in the side lanes, SK can flank around. Super Hot Crew can flank around.
SK are pinging towards the inhibitor tower there, but they're going to be far too slow to think about that one. The Dragon has already gone down, the 3rd of 4 so far this game for the Super Hot Crew. It's really been those Dragons that have kept them in this game in terms of the gold, picking up a lot of those. Of course, they got 4 towers of their own. They've not done a bad job on that front either.
Definitely not done too bad of a job. It was only the mid tower they lost in, which was an issue for them, but they did a great job early game of shutting or trying to shut down Freddy, but then turned everything around and now way ahead of farm for Mimer here. Mimer doesn't want to even go against him one-on-one, so Freddy can just split push all day long while the rest of SK can just poke away.
Freddy being a real superstar, I think, these first few days of the split for SK Gaming, and it'd be hard to argue against whether he was a superstar in the spring split as well.
I think we can say he was.
Yeah, did incredibly well, which as me, as an Englishman, makes me very happy to see as well, that's for sure.
Do we want to get started here? There's quite a lot of Danish players.
Not yet. Selfie here, getting a little bit caught out there. Svenskeren coming in from the side, actually missing the Q, so not following in from that one. SK here can keep going with this strategy that they've had before. Freddy just pushing off towards the side. Don't think Mimer can really stand and fight with him too much. We saw that earlier on in that top lane, but the Super Hot Crew actually pushing up a little bit on the mid lane. Svenskeren flanking around the side will actually cause a bit of unrest, I think, in the Super Hot Crew team, and they decide to just back away.
And you see Freddy, once he pushed the wave up here, he actually moved towards the mid lane so he could save his teleport in case a fight should break out, in case SK got an engage. Now he's back to the bottom lane. Just smacking Mimer in the head a few times, and Mimer will back away. No, actually going really aggressive here.
Oh, that is a good pillar coming down from Freddy as well, but yeah. Blade of the Ruin King was still available for Mimer. I would have just used that in the end to get away, or if not, used his ultimate then to fly away to safety. Either way, SK Gaming have just moved straight onto this top lane and taken the turret without any kind of problem. There are a couple of men in the mid lane here though for the Super Hot Crew. SK have to make a choice here. Do they go back? Do they keep going? Looks like they're going to go back, walking back into it though, which is going to mean that MrRalleZ and wewillfailer are going to have to make a decision of which direction they go.
They
Straight down mid lane, out to the side. wewillfailer comes in, actually lands a hook on towards Jesiz, who will leap away, throws the spear, which actually misses. Freddy's going to be coming into the fight in a second. Ultimate out of Zyra, not doing masses as Mimer dives into the backline. Both Jesiz and nRated, in fact, most of them are low HP right now. And the Super Hot Crew force SK away.
And everything was just completely split up here. wewillfailer and MrRalleZ, the AD carry and the support, were actually standing behind SK Gaming when the fight started. Freddy, he decided to teleport in. He was too far away to just run into the fight here, so he didn't actually join in time for the big fight here. And SK they managed to disengage, but a good team fight from Super Hot Crew here, and also very good job picking up this mid tower when they already lost the bottom one.
Super Hot Crew going Baron side. There's a pink there though. All be cleared out quickly. And they're starting it. Baron starts 30 minutes and 45 seconds into the game. Spears already coming through. There's a big slow. Hook comes through. It lands onto Jesiz. Wow. That's a go, go, go signal. But Super Hot Crew are low HP as well. There's going to be at least one kill, maybe even two coming in. There will be a couple coming down. But we still have Selfie hammering away. His intervention will run out. Svenskeren's already on top of him. We saw Zyra actually recalling out there from that bottom side. Actually, no, Zyra's dead. I'm just lying to you guys about that. Either way, it's a 3-on-2 for the Super Hot Crew.
So on a 3-on-2 here, there was no knock-up onto Selfie, so that's why he could just stay in the backline and did so much damage. Meanwhile, though, Panda as well, notice him in this fight, he's going to be untouched for a long time because there's no ult in Mimer. He won't be able to join him or jump in, but very nice hook from wewillfailer. Instant killing Jesiz. Then notice Selfie here in the backline. His auto-attack build. Nobody stopping him, just spamming away again and again and again, killing people. Him and Panda in against each other. Both of them have to back away. Intervention from Selfie. And of course, Panda completely out of mana. Svenskeren just have to kick him away.
Crazy fight there. And after that, both teams like, okay, let's have a bit of a breather, guys. Let's just back away, spend up a little bit of money. See that Banshee's Veil came out from Impaler. I think he's a little bit bored of being hit by Jesiz. And the fact is, with this team that they've got, Banshee's Veil could actually pretty much nullify the entire CC that they actually have there.
Well, at least if you get hit by one spear, it's going to absorb it here, and you don't really want to get hit by multiple spears here. Of course, you should be able to dodge around him, so it's a good item. Also because he needs to do the engage, so if you can avoid the snare from Zyra when he actually tries to go in for the engage here, the Banshee is going to be very useful for him. But the last fight really showed both these comp here in what they can really do and how you can try and stop them and how you can't stop them. We saw Selfie, no knock-ups onto him, so he did a lot of damage together with MrRalleZ in the backline. It was only Freddy around them here, so it wasn't enough for him to tank up all the damage. And meanwhile, you also saw when Mimer doesn't have his ulti, he's not able to jump Panda, so he just stayed in the backline and fired away himself. So therefore, we saw both teams here what they actually need to kill each other, and if not, we saw what happened.
wewillfailer just got hit by a big spear there. Void Staff added in for Jesiz on top of that Death Cap and the Athenes from earlier. Meanwhile, Impaler's checking Baron. And here we see the other side of that pink ward that we saw yesterday.
Yep.
You can put it in one or two places. Sometimes, wherever you put it, you're going to miss a spot where a ward is.
Have to put two of the pink wards, man. One inside, one just outside. For now, though, the ward will remain, so there is vision from SK in case something should happen there. Just pushing up his mid lane now. Mimer is in the bottom lane. Teleport is ready. Now he can try and teleport in behind SK if he wants to try and start a fight.
His ultimate, crucially, this time is available for him as well. However, it looks like SK are going to spend this time clearing out Baron. There's going to be at least one recall here, and that man should be Freddy. He did start to recall actually there in that rush, but I'm not sure that he's, they stopped him at least for then getting away from it. That means free damage basically from Mimer on this top turret. It looks like Super Hot Crew are just going to back away and let Mimer do his thing and head in towards Dragon. I don't even think that Mimer will be stopped by damage here. He himself pulling away as Freddy recalled back into the base. Good move from the Super Hot Crew. Free damage onto the turret and a Dragon.
Very smart move, yeah, and also the late game Dragon, so it gave even more gold for Super Hot Crew. Simply just Mimer pushing up the lane by himself. SK too late to react to it, couldn't actually push down the lane because of the Mimer being able to teleport behind them, and at the same time they didn't feel like they could actually do anything, so they just had to recall. Lost 50% damage on the tower and also lost the Dragon.
A lot of wards still there that haven't been cleared out by SK. Finally, we see a couple more ping wards in the inventory. Of course, that will be nRated coming down with that. He's got himself a 14 dice, by the way. I didn't actually see that from earlier on.
Let's see here. Candy Panda, his flash is going to be ready just in a few seconds. So this is the time now where SK can start grouping up and say, come at us. We don't even care if you start a fight. Mimer jumps towards Candy Panda. I can flash it, and then you start dealing damage onto you. Use my Player's Rune King, use my Trinity Force to kite you around so you will never get to me. And it is ready now for him. And we also see SK actually starting to group up and now landing the first spear.
wewillfailer has been catching the last few of these, and that surely means that this turret is not defendable. I mean, Thresh can hook, but he's going to go in there, face instant death, and they're going to fight anyway. Mimer dives in. He's already been burst down. He may even die from this one. Intervention was used to keep him alive. There's the hook, but it comes onto Svenskeren. Another spear will go through, and that is the tower anyway in the end.
Again, we see the issue for SUPA HOT CREW. They engage. It's just a random ulti in for Mimer here. Candy Panda didn't even get hit by it. He didn't have to use his flash or anything. He backed away. The rest of SK just turned straight onto Mimer. Got him so low, he had to get the intervention and back away. Big issues for SUPA HOT CREW again. They need to get behind and then behind SK Gaming, and they need to get the ulti ready again for Mimer.
Here we're going to see how strong they can hold it. Candy Panda takes a big burst from Selfie. wewillfailer off to the side, trying to get in. Flash hook! He hooked the plant! The plant was right in front of him. He ended up hooking that one in, and he may even go down. Cogmore battering him from a range. There is Selfie going aggressive, though, towards Svenskeren. Now on Freddy. There's a disengage from nRated. Mimer being chased around in circles there, and there was a kill onto Candy Panda. He didn't finish anyone off with his surprise at the end. A 1-for-0, but they hold them off.
And there was actually a cocoon landing from Impaler onto Candy Panda in here that got him very low and meant SUPA HOT CREW could start chasing up here. So okay, maybe you don't need your ulti and to flank around as long as you can land cocoon onto the Candy Panda, onto the Cogmore, of course, not the Candy Panda.
He is the Candy Panda.
He is. He's also the Mandy Panda.
Don't know what that means.
Was it Mandy Panda?
Man Panda. It doesn't matter. in reference to Darian calling Candy Panda a man yesterday, before we get in that. Baron down to half HP. We do have Svenskeren off to the side. He's got to be the hero here for SK Gaming, or maybe that's Freddy. He's having a real go at wewillfailer there on the backside. Finished off by the spear of Jesiz, but SK need to evacuate now. Freddy's flashed out of it. Cogmore is nowhere near this fight. This could be real bad news for SK. That is a good grasping roots coming out of nRated, but it won't save Jesiz. That is a killer piece here with wewillfailer going down. Jesiz going down. That's advantage SUPA HOT CREW. They're going to go straight back to Baron.
Yeah, Impaler's been spot on with his cocoons this game here. Multiple ones on the Candy Panda. This one onto Jesiz here. Getting them the kill so they can start the Baron. 3 members are nearby. Freddy's down his bottom lane. No teleport. He won't be able to join for a fight.
Cogmore. Candy Panda coming into it. Wow, big damage onto Selfie. Intervention last second. Baron still having to go at them from distance, and Impaler, you might have to just take 1 or 2 for the team there, because dodging them is going to get you isolated. In the end, Freddy is trolling down in the bottom side. He's got himself inhib turret, may have a good go on the inhibitor itself as well, chomping down on that. They've sent wewillfailer, who can do literally nothing to stop Freddy. They finally get Selfie down there. Freddy might have to die for this one. He gets the inhibitor though. He is a dead man though.
What a hero though. He gets the inhibitor. He walked all the way from the Baron down, and now SK Gaming to start the Baron. Impaler is nearby, however.
Now Impaler has to be the hero to stop this one from happening. We are going to see Nidalee coming around. SUPA HOT CREW are charging up through their own jungle to try and get there in time. Teleports are coming in as well. Impaler zoned out by Candy Panda as Mimer dives in. The Baron is low. The Baron goes to SK Gaming. They're going to try and flash and get away from it. They'll lose 1 man. Candy Panda goes down after killing off Impaler, we should admit. But 3 men will survive there with the Baron buff.
So SK Gaming here sacrificing themselves to pick up both the inhibitor and now the Baron. Big win for them. Mark Trekti. A lost team fight. Just by Freddy running to the bot lane, and then Candy Panda coming out from the base with full HP could stop SUPA HOT CREW. The 4 members doing the Baron here, and then everything just turned around for them. And SK Gaming picked up a big advantage now.
What a game this one is turning out to be. 40 minutes we're about to hit. And there's not much of a difference in gold there. A lot of very big tactical decisions. Freddy saying, okay guys, I'm going for this one. I am going for this one. They sent wewillfailer alone, and You have to feel if 2 men would have gone there, they would have been able to stop Freddy from doing that before he'd actually finished biting away and killing off that inhibitor. In the end, though, they were scared that that Baron was going to go down. They lost the inhib, they lost the Baron as well in the end.
And I think they simply got surprised about Candy Panda coming with full HP. I don't think they realized actually that he ran all the way from the base and therefore could stop them from doing it, because as soon as he showed up, they had to back away from it instantly. There was a lot of damage onto Selfie, had to intervention himself, and from there on, with the inhibitor down the bottom lane, with Freddy already killed the tower, it was too late for him to actually react in time.
Dragons up, and SUPA HOT CREW will have that one away, but SK are already moving down this mid lane. That's 5 out of 6 dragons, by the way, this game for the SUPA HOT CREW. Super Minions will, of course, be pushing bottom as well. SK Gaming sat waiting here in middle. Fact is, though, everything's gone. wewillfailer's waiting off to the side to see if he can land a hook.
And no flash on the Candy Panda yet here. Look for the Kakuna to hook onto him. He's been hit a few times already.
Selfie being ripped to pieces. Has to use a very early intervention, but look at that. Jesiz right in the middle of the team. wewillfailer gonna hook one. He gets knocked up in the process. Jesiz trying to run away. Uses the QSS on himself, but that's a double kill coming in for MrRalleZ. AD carry and the big tanky Trundle have gone down. This could be real bad news for SK.
And again here, SUPA HOT CREW finally managed to get around SK Gaming. They're flying around. It was wewillfailer this time, so Mimer jumped in, and then wewillfailer came around here to lock them down with the box, with the play. Notice him, he's actually out of the picture now. He comes in up here, comes in behind, multiple members, play, box, everything. And even though there's a Cyber ultimate hitting multiple members, everyone from SK is caught. There's no flashes ready for them. That's why, as soon as they get locked down, SUPA HOT CREW can just pile on to them here.
Oh, SUPA HOT CREW, I was going to say, need to be careful about their base here. Super Minions are going at it. They're going to take one down. Bad news. That was not part of the plan from the SUPA HOT CREW. They got themselves a couple of kills. We're thinking maybe we can push some towers of our own. In the end, they go back to defend and still lose one of those Nexus turrets. So SK, although they lose a couple of men, the work that they'd done previously, taking down that inhib where Freddy went man mode, doing the work for them.
And this time around, there's flash onto Candy Panda, flash onto nRated and Freddy. So at least this time around, when they engage, come from SUPA HOT CREW, they can flash away and then start turning around, put down the side walls, made all the damage from Candy Panda. And they simply also just need wards on the sides when they decide to push down as 5 members.
So SK, what's next from them? Starting to push out a little bit more on the map, stealing away some of the SUPA HOT CREW jungle, which becomes less and less important as we go on. Of course, a lot of these players working themselves up to 5, 6 items. And that may continue here. Who knows how long this game is going to progress. The SUPA HOT CREW digging in deep, coming up with a couple of good team fights. Bottom inhibitor has respawned. nRated will try and zone the SUPA HOT CREW away from this one.
And he actually got quite some damage here. We have Void Staff onto nRated. Also some more magic pen, so he actually does quite some damage if he lands some plants, lands his ultimate onto SUPA HOT CREW here, so we need to see. Still, look at Mimer up here in the top of your screen. He wants to flank around them once again. It is the engage for SUPA HOT CREW. They always need a guy to come around, or again, they need to land Kakuna hook.
nRated going to be tasked with, first of all, getting rid of the Banshee's Veil from him, so that the spears can later do some damage. SK continue to move through. They know that it's going to be dangerous to actually go further than the steps, because that's when Mimer is just going to come charging down and have a go at him. As I said, it's nRated that's trying to keep them away from that one. There's the pillar coming in. Hook will go through, but it misses.
And now flash on every single member. Even Jesiz got his flash ready for the next fight here. Same actually goes over for SUPA HOT CREW side, except for wewillfailer. He won't be able to flash in with a play or a box to lock down multiple members, which could be one of the needed things for them to actually lock down this very mobile Kog'Maw. Well, not very mobile, but very fast Kog'Maw. Of course, he doesn't have any jumps, so in that case, he's not very mobile.
They just lost the turret here. Have SK Gaming there is that Banshee's finally got ridden off, but you know, it doesn't even take that long anymore until that comes back up. They need to deal with that big wave on the top side of the map. Jesiz will be the man that is charged with dealing with that, and the second wave will be coming across straight after that. This is the time where the SUPA HOT CREW have to make as much ground on the map as they can, push those minion waves right out.
Get as much farm as possible as well. They really need Mimer here. He's been behind actually for quite a while to Freddy here. He's now building towards the Sunfire Cable. He just needs some more tank in it, so he can tank pretty much all the damage from Candy Panda once he actually engages on the fight, because gonna be one of the people going in first. And we simply just need to see if both teams want to wait for the Baron here, what SK Gaming wants to do. Do they want to go and put up a lot of water around it, try and bait it out, land a few spears, get someone low from SUPA HOT CREW and then take the Baron? Or is it SUPA HOT CREW who's going to take control of the river and try and force SK Gaming into a bad situation? Because if you can get Nidalee into a situation where she needs to engage instantly, she won't get to land her spears, won't get to land her poke, she won't bring too much in a team fight. And that's where SUPA HOT CREW has a chance if they get full control of this area around the Baron.
Honestly, this game has thrown us so many curveballs already, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. Do know, though, that Freddy's down in the bottom lane again. That inhibitor wide open. Both top laners do have the teleport available, so they can counter each other out on that front if they react fast enough. SUPA HOT CREW pushing up. There's a big spear on Selfie. They've got the hook. Candy Panda instead. That could well spell disaster here for SK Gaming. The AD carry down for them. How are they going to hold on now? SUPA HOT CREW seeing their chance. Mimer doesn't want to tank up too much damage because he's going to need those help. If the spear lands, we see it there. Onto Selfie. Down to hardly anything. The next one is going to flash by. Are SUPA HOT CREW going to go for the win here? They've caught out Freddy. There's the ultimate. There's a kill at the back though. And SK Gaming are going to try and fight them away from the base. But there's a lot of damage. There is Svenskeren. He kicks MrRalleZ back. They lock him up. They finish him off as well. Have they got more damage for more of these kills? Mimer's still pretty healthy. wewillfailer, the obvious target. He will in fact go back and be the sacrificial lamb. But nRated flashes on through. Definitely doesn't have enough damage to kill Mimer. Svenskeren should have the damage to kill Impaler if he didn't land a clutch cocoon and walk away.
And this was without Candy Panda, who once again got hooked or cocooned too many times this game for Candy Panda here. He even had flash. He got a flash away from the hook from wewillfailer, decided not to use it, went down, but then everything got turned around here. Selfie died in the back. Intervention was still up because Jesiz landed a max range spear onto him. He was already poked down. And then with Svenskeren coming in behind SK, managed to get the kill on MrRalleZ and win the fight for SK.
As I said before, no idea what's going to happen in the long term of this game. Mimer comes in to disrupt Baron a little, will be forced away. Baron did reset actually. So that's kind of wasted time on that one for SK Gaming. It's going to bring Impaler around, but Candy Panda, the first victim of that last fight, has respawned in, and he does absolute masses of damage. And there is Mimer ultimate in right into the middle of the team, but he's going to pay the price. Svenskeren gets that kill. Baron wasn't reset this time around, and they're going to be able to kill it. But look at the SK Gaming base. It's full of super minions. They're losing the Nexus turret. One is already down. They have to recall. The SUPA HOT CREW going to try and keep him in position here. Selfie himself will use his ultimate on him. He does go down in the end, but both Nexus turrets are now dead. SK Gaming need to recall from this one. They've got two super minions coming through. They're actually going to push here. It's Freddy that's going to go back. Super minions are already on the Nexus itself, but I think that Freddy is going to be fast enough from that one. Freddy is moving in there now. SK are pushing in towards the base. The Nexus of SK has already lost. They need to go back. They need to go back from it. And nRated comes in. They're safe. They're safe.
Oh, Joe. The minions spawned for them. They can focus on this inhibitor now here. Take it away. Destroyed, and all the super minions now are gone from the base of SK. Two members to defend, and now teleport from Freddy come in. They want to go for the finish.
They want to try and win this game right here, and you have to feel that they're going to with that numbers advantage. wewillfailer will be singled out and finished off. Both Nexus turrets go down.
Wow.
SK come in, take the Nexus. So close to losing it to super minions right at the very end. What a game! What a game!
Insane ending. First, Freddy went back to defend it, realized we need more, and nRated recalled. The Nexus was down to 40% HP before they got all the super minions away. Their own minions spawned as well to defend it, and then they could just teleport down and finish the game. Wow.
I told you I had no idea how this game was going to end. Yeah, I was pretty much spot on with that one. A crazy ending to what was a fantastic